The animal that kills with a single bite. A black caiman weighing 1/4 of a ton is resting on a riverbank deep in the Amazon. Nothing in that jungle dares approach it. Then the jaguar arrives. 2 steps, 1 leap, and fangs that drive directly through the caiman's skull. No struggle, no prolonged fight. A motionless body in seconds. Then the jaguar drags its kill to somewhere quiet. Sits down and eats. This animal is one of the least understood apex predators on Earth, and it has a stronger claim to the title of King of the Jungle than almost anything else carrying that name. The jaguar is the 3rd largest wildcat in the world, behind the lion and the tiger, but that ranking conceals something important. The lion lives in groups. It hunts through coordination, uses the combined weight of the pride to bring down large prey, and becomes significantly less effective without that collective structure around it. The tiger is larger and heavier, reaching up to 300 kilograms, but it operates in a different environment against different challenges. The jaguar hunts alone. Always. No pride, no partner, no backup. Everything depends entirely on itself, and yet nothing in its entire territory dares challenge it. Its weight sits between 56 and 110 kilograms, considerably less than a lion, but it carries the most powerful bite relative to body size of any large cat on Earth. And unlike every other big cat, the jaguar does not aim for the throat. It goes straight for the skull. It can puncture a turtle's shell. It can crack the cranium of a caiman before the animal registers what has happened. The kill is not a process. It is a single event, but the most dangerous thing about the jaguar is not its bite. It is its silence. When it moves through the forest, you hear nothing. When it wades through shallow water, it barely disturbs the surface. When it swims beneath the river, it leaves almost no trace. The forest seems empty. The river seems undisturbed. Meanwhile, the jaguar is moving between both with a fluency that seems to belong to a different physical world entirely. It is the most skilled swimmer of all the big cats. Where a lion avoids water, the jaguar treats rivers as a second hunting ground. It crosses wide waterways without effort and takes prey from the water with the same efficiency it uses on land. It lives in the hardest environment on the planet. The jaguar exists only in the Americas, from Mexico in the north to Argentina in the south. Across 18 countries, more than half its total population lives in Brazil, concentrated in the heart of the Amazon basin. And the Amazon basin is not simply a forest, it is one of the most dangerous ecosystems on Earth. Venomous snakes at every level, piranha in the rivers, and sitting at the very top of this green hierarchy, the black caiman. The black caiman is the largest member of the crocodilian family on Earth. It can reach 5 meters in length and exceed half a ton in weight. Its skull is wider and heavier than a Nile crocodile. It eats anything that approaches the water. Nothing in the Amazon challenges a black caiman, nothing except the jaguar. The jaguar watches from a distance. It moves across the ground without sound, closing the gap 1 step at a time. Then it drops its full weight onto the caiman's back and drives its fangs into the base of the skull simultaneously. If the first bite lands correctly, the confrontation is already over. What makes this even more extraordinary is the range of prey the jaguar is capable of taking. Its diet includes more than 85 different species. Everything that walks on the ground, swims in the river, or sits in the trees is a viable target. That number explains why the jaguar never goes hungry, regardless of the season. Its hunting method is built on patience and precision rather than raw speed. It can wait motionless for hours inside dense vegetation, and when prey passes beneath it, drops from above. When it chooses to run, it reaches 80 kilometers per hour, but it rarely needs to. The prey usually does not know the jaguar exists until the bite has already happened. There is one side of the jaguar that surprises people who have only seen its predatory reputation. The mothers, a female jaguar gives birth to between 2 and 4 cubs after a pregnancy of 3 to 4 months. The cubs are born completely blind, unable to hear fully, incapable of independent movement. The mother handles everything alone. No father, no pride, no assistance of any kind. She feeds them, protects them, and teaches them to hunt across nearly 2 full years. The greatest threat to the cubs does not come from outside the species. It comes from male jaguars. Males sometimes kill cubs to force the female into mating again. Because of this, a jaguar mother in the rearing period becomes a completely different animal. There is no negotiation, no retreat. Any male that approaches faces a female prepared to defend her young against anything, including an opponent her own size. The only threat the jaguar cannot answer with its fangs or its silence or its speed is the human one. Deforestation in the Amazon removes its territory piece by piece. Deliberate fires erase areas controlled across generations. Illegal hunting continues despite legal protection. Together, these pressures have reduced jaguar numbers significantly over the past century. But the jaguar has not yielded its territory easily. In every region where it remains the absolute authority. Nothing shares the top of that food chain with it. Its name comes from a South American indigenous language and translates directly as the one who kills with a single leap. Every time it hunts, it proves the name was never an exaggeration. One practical thing worth knowing: if you ever find yourself in jaguar territory, if you encounter one, it has almost certainly been watching you for much longer than you realize. The good news is that jaguars do not treat humans as natural prey and rarely attack unless provoked. The less reassuring news is that the safe distance it decides to maintain is a decision it makes entirely on its own terms. What animal in your part of the world has an ability or a reputation that most people outside your region would find genuinely hard to believe?